The return is an action-packed, Mandalorian-filled episode of The Mandalorian to close out Season 3. G'day, I'm RJ. Welcome to the Nerdy Dad channel, and my review and discussion of The Mandalorian Season 3 finale, The Return. As with the penultimate episode, The Return was directed by Rick Famuyiwa. I'm going to start non-spoiler. I liked the episode, but I didn't love it. This sums up my feelings about the entire season, actually. It feels like there's just a little something missing. This was a fairly short episode, and it was an action-intensive episode, which probably contributed to some of the plot contrivances, and, the feeling that something was just a little lacking. But don't misunderstand me. Thumbs up or thumbs down? This episode is definitely a thumbs up. I enjoyed the episode, and I'm looking forward to more Star Wars TV, including more Mandalorian in the future, especially with the way they set things up at the end. Okay, it's time to get into the details, including spoilers. SPO, you get the idea. Let's start by talking about the action. We know from the Disney Gallery that Rick Famuyiwa has been heavily involved in developing the way that this show does action right from Season 1. And we definitely see the evolution of that in this episode. This episode has a lot of action. And in my opinion, on the whole, the action was done right. I said on the whole because I'm still not sure what I think about the big jetpack Mando on Stormtrooper battle. It was possibly, unavoidably, a big CGI slugfest. However, at the same time they managed to focus on individual characters like Bo-Katan and the Armorer, and it felt even more personal than the battle at the Forge last week. So other than my misgivings about the jetpacks, I loved all the action in the episode, particularly the fight between Din, Grogu and the Praetorian, and the interconnected fight between Bo and Moff Gideon. I'm going to keep on the theme of things that I like. I like the world building on Mandalore, the symbolism that life is returning to the planet when given a chance. I like, and I really appreciate that there was no Deus Ex Machina. I think it's awesome that victory was achieved by the Mandalorians and the Mandalorians alone. There was no Luke Skywalker moment like there was at the end of Season 2. The New Republic's fleet didn't swoop in to save them, and the Mythosaur didn't even rise up from the depths to save the day. I like that Din was front and center of the episode. Bo-Katan is the undisputed leader, at least I think it's undisputed, leader of the Mandalorians, but at the same time, Din's story was still very much front and center of the episode, and I like where he wound up. Speaking of where he wound up, we now know what Favreau's doing with those Rangers of the New Republic scripts that he wrote for Cara Dune. He's clearly taken them and he's going to insert Din as the POV character. I can't wait to see Din working alongside Zeb. Well, maybe not because of the CGI cost, but he's definitely going to work alongside Paul Sun-Hyung Lee's Carson Teva, and that has me excited for New Republic storytelling potential. Let me open talking about the concerns I had by reminding everyone that the episode was short. I'm also going to acknowledge that Star Wars often has logic holes. Now, having said that, how and when did Grogu leave Bo's group to go and find Din? And how did he not get stopped by stormtroopers? How? This put me on the wrong foot right from the start of the episode. No. How and when did R5 get to Mandalore? I went back to Season 7 and checked. R5 wasn't in the scouting party that landed on Mandalore. Somehow, something overall feels like it's missing from the episode, and I can't put my finger on what. Maybe it's small details like this. Maybe it's expectations. The Dr. Pershing story went nowhere. I expected the Mythosaur. Yes, I like what it means for the story that the Mythosaur wasn't there. But somewhere deep inside, maybe I still feel that it's missing. There was a Lord of the Rings-esque 4 endings to the season. However, I feel like there should have been at least one more. Look, whether or not you ship Bo and Din like I do, they have grown close over the season, and it feels really odd that he left Mandalore without talking to her. I'm going to wrap things up here. I have more Mandalorian videos on the way, so click on the link above to subscribe to the channel. This is the Nerdy Dad, signing off.